Hello and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports this Tuesday evening. And tonight, it'll be the Portland Trailblazers going up against the Boston Celtics. Brian Anderson here. With me tonight are analysts Richard Jefferson and Grant Hill. And our reporter, Ali LaForce. Looking at the starting five for Boston. They've got Giannis Antetokounmpo, Cade Cunningham out there with Kyrie Irving. Then it's Evan Mobley, and it's Tatum in at the 3 spot.
You often expect him to convert these types of shots, but the D must have made their presence felt to prevent that one.
Well, Grant, how do you slow down Zion Williamson?
Oh, glad I didn't have to, B.A. Obviously, you've got to play him for the drive and keep him in front of you. And when he gets anywhere near the paint, you have to bring the help.
And so Antetokounmpo will bring it up for the Boston Celtics. Pass to Irving. Three-pointer. He buries it from 3.
This is Irving's mentality. He understands that he is out there to shoot and shoot often, especially off the catch.
Now here's Williamson. Back to Halliburton. Jacks up a 3. Again, the miss by Portland.
Shocking that he just bricked that one. The defense got real.
Oh, my goodness. How about that?
Beyond belief. I mean, such a creative talent. And I'm not surprised to see Giannis get flashy on the finish.
Well, it's always nice to head up to the connected cam to get another angle of these big plays, courtesy of AT&T. Halliburton with the ball. He's guarded by Irving. And Tyrese Halliburton with a 3.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Portland with a rebound. Williamson passes to Halliburton. Towns a screen on Irving. Pass to Towns. 4-3. He can't get that one to fall. And at the end of one, a closely contested game so far. It's the Celtics. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even on the scoreboard so far. And for Boston guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
It's simple. The main takeaway from the first quarter is they're winning this game with defense.
Making it as difficult as possible for the offense to find clean looks. Great stuff.
On the floor for Boston, Barnes is out there with Johnson. Then there's Ivica Zubac. Then it's Kyrie Irving, and it's Ball in at the shooting guard position. The shot by Johnson, no good. Now Portland with it. Well, Grant, the 2025 season was sort of a return to form for Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, B.A., he just seemed more comfortable out there, right? Getting back to what his numbers used to look like and just playing with reckless abandon.
Ball finds Irving. Nice ball movement by Boston. The 3 from Barnes. Towns with a rebound. And so it's Murray who brings up the ball for the Portland Trailblazers. Their last meeting was in Boston, where they were unable to fight off the Celtics.
Last game, their starting lineup struggled to stay on the floor. It just put too much pressure on the bench.
Expect to see them being much more careful tonight because of that. Maybe being a little less aggressive.
And Franz Wagner picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Josh Giddey's checked in for Murray. Jason Tatum, he's checked in for Boston. Here in the second quarter, a little over a minute of play. Tatum showing off the strength.
Ooh, how about those nifty moves from Tatum? So crafty with the rock.
The Trailblazers have got 2 of 3 shots to go in the second. Towns on a screen. Giddey passes to Wagner. Towns down low, covered by Johnson. And he hits it and gets... A 3-point chance here if he can convert.
Nice ball movement there. Delivered the pass right on time.
And some changes here for Portland. Zion Williamson is checked in for Nikola Vucevic. And Halliburton is subbed in for Zach LaVine. Boston also changing it up. Antetokounmpo comes in for Ball. And Cade Cunningham subbed in for Irving. Williamson outside. Oh, Zion! Just a bully inside.
And their offensive execution has really picked up here in the second period.
Pass to Antetokounmpo. over Williamson, and Antetokounmpo the bucket on the assist by Cunningham.
These are the shots coach wants them hunting down, just the easy makes.
And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. It's the Trailblazers. They lead by 3. All right, good stuff, Allie. And we'll get back to the action at the start of the third quarter.
You look at the Celtics, you can think you know your team, but you have no idea until the real game begins.
You don't have to be a finished product right now, right out the gate. Just set the table early and build from there.
And now let's focus on the Trailblazers. At halftime now, it's been a tight one.
They're riding the wave of enthusiasm in this arena.
That's it for us. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's send you over to Brian Anderson with the third period.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard. All right, guys, we're lucky to have Shams Charania joining us now. Our 2K insider calling in with a story. What do you got, Shams?
Well, fans becoming very familiar with the term second apron over the last few seasons. Front offices admit the devil is in the details. While it's not exactly a hard cap, teams are showing little willingness to endure the penalties that come with persisting above that second apron threshold.
That's for certain. Shams, thank you for the report. They've got Josh Giddey, Zion Williamson out there with Karl Anthony Towns. Then it's Jalen Williams, and it's Halliburton in at the 2. That's the group starting the second half for Chauncey Billups.
This is something that Mobley is still developing. It's nice to see him take a confident shot from the arc.
Well, a new era in Portland, Grant. Young, raw, and still finding their place.
Yeah, B.A., they've committed to growing through reps and putting in the time. The victories are hard-won, but a foundation is being laid.
Halliburton misses.
And usually that's a bucket for him, but look, nobody's perfect in the mid-range.
Cunningham passes to Mobley. Cunningham against Giddey. 6 on the shot clock. Antetokounmpo, a screen on Williams. Here's Tatum. And that misses. That would have put him up. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. It's stolen by Irving. And Boston pushing it up now. And he lays it in off the breakaway. Irving's got 5.
I had the pleasure of watching Kyrie for 2 years as a teammate, and he is as creative as they come. Kyrie is an absolute joy to watch in the open floor, unless you're guarding.
Love to see that kind of activity. He just makes things happen.
If he gets that look again, he should take it. You can't let one miss scare you off of a very good shot.
Third quarter comes to a close, and a battle break. All right, let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And I'll tell you what, this was a no-brainer tonight. Take a look at the precision on this feed. Couldn't place it any better.
You've got to admire the vision just as much as the accuracy. Not many players can even spot that pass.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. And a look at the 5 for the Celtics to start the fourth quarter. Kyrie Irving out there with Cunningham. Then there's Jason Tatum. Then it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. And it's Mobley in at the 5 spot. Too much Giannis!
Yeah, one of the most efficient inside scorers. Giannis just can't be stopped.
Here's Giddey. Outside Williams. And the 3 misses.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Now Mobley. Rejected by Halliburton. Irving against Williams. And that basket is good.
And he is stronger than he looks, trust me. I mean, Williams has the bulk to win those tough battles inside.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Oh, don't let Giannis in.
Get him to put anywhere close to the rim. That thing's over.
Shooting for Boston, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And that one falls for Antetokounmpo.
That's exactly what this team needs right now, completing the N1.
And Chauncey Billups calls timeout here. There is a lot on the line, and he is determined to make sure everyone's on the same page. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
During that break, Coach Chauncey Billups had some advice for the team. They said in the huddle, this is it. No excuses. Let's figure out a way to win. A couple of players spoke as well, firing up their teammates. A great ending could be in store, guys.
And Allie, thank you for that. Antetokounmpo. Nice finish. Man, big time right there.
Great to see guys who don't back down under pressure.
He knew what they needed here and was determined to deliver.
Thanks to the AT&T Connected Cam for the up-close and personal view of that slam.
Some players shrink when the pressure's on, but he lives for these moments.
Giannis striding in.
You expect this from an MVP like Giannis. He never gives up on the game. Timeout. Gotta love it.
And Chauncey Billups calls timeout. Critical moment here. He's not taking any chances. From a coaching perspective, what are the keys to focus on here?
If they leave the arc open, take it. But it may be safer to get a quick two and then foul.
Yeah, time is the enemy at this point, so I think I'd go for the tie and avoid playing the foul game.
Shot clock and game clock, 1 second differential. Halliburton fires. Towns. He's off from three. And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, you had to do that. I mean, you can't allow them to dribble out the time.
First free throw is good, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. And so he drops them both, and it's a 5-point game.
Taking care of business at the line, leaving this one out of reach.
So we see Boston get the win here, and they barely squeezed out the win.
Jason, with you guys being such a young team, how do you continue to improve to reach your potential?
We got to watch film. I mean, we did a lot of good things today. So a lot of things we could have done better. And we just got to be focused, composed, and play with a lot of poise, and we'll be fine.
Poise normally comes with experience, but because you're so young.
All right, thanks, Allie. And that'll do it, folks. For Grant Hill, Richard Jefferson, and Allie LaFleur.
Coming to you live on this Tuesday night. All right, everyone, the NBA season starts today. We have made it. It is a holiday for everybody.
Oh, man, the offseason felt like forever. It's great to be back. Nothing like some games that count.
And now the Lakers starting group. Randall out there with Jaylen Brown. Then it's Bam Adebayo. Then there's Luka Doncic. And it's Fox in at the 2.
Checking in at about 200 pounds, Maxey is much stronger than he appears.
The 76ers shooting their first free throws of this quarter. And he makes both free throws.
He's about as calm as you can be at the stripe.
And so Doncic will bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. Greg, last season, the Lakers exceeded expectations by winning 50 games and finishing third in the West.
They went on quite a run after acquiring Luka Doncic, but they were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. And As we know, this is an organization judged on championship success.
And here is Mitchell after Luka Doncic hitting the three. Maxey against Doncic. Maxey, no good.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And, guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
And here's Brown outside. It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. 11 feet away. Nice touch on the bank shot.
With the speed at which Maxey plays, that pull-up is almost impossible to deal with.
Doncic passes to Fox. Over Mitchell. That's good from Fox on the assist by Doncic.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
Well, they better be thinking about him. I mean, we know how dangerous he is.
Now, here's Maxey. Shot clock at 5. Can't hit from the elbow.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
So at the end of one. And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And from what we've seen so far from the Lakers, guys, what are your thoughts?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, you know, I agree. No warm-up needed. They came in on fire and have already built a nice lead.
They've got Wembanyama, Tyler Hero out there with Jamal Murray. Then it's Alperen Sengun. And it's Markkanen in at the small forward position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. And you think about the style of Sixers head coach Nick Nurse. Greg, what stands out to you?
He just has a willingness to experiment and adapt. That's a real asset with some of the challenges this roster has faced. And a big part of why this front office brought him in.
Now here's Thomas. And finished off by Collins.
You got to have some guts and guile to take it to the bucket strong despite the big fella standing in the way.
Murray, the pass to Wembanyama. With the step back. There's 48 seconds left in the first half. And Murray now top of the key. He's off on that one.
With no D around, you expect him to knock down that midi.
Fox passes to Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Boy, this team takes on a different attitude when Porzingis imposes his will like that. His energy and attitude, infectious.
Now, here's Markkanen. He has yet to score. Pass to Sengun. In the corner, it's Wembanyama. Lets it go from the wing. Jump shot is good.
And Wembanyama's ability to pick and pop from anywhere on the floor puts defenders on their heels.
Fox inside the one. Not going to go that time. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Lakers on top. Hey, Ellie, thank you so much for that interview. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with you for the second half of the game right after this.
Taking a look here now at the 76ers, like most teams right now, they're optimistic. We'll see how they handle the first couple of games.
Well, as we check out the results of the first half for the Lakers, it's been neck and neck.
I love how they're running their offense. They look.
That is more than enough of us.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Los Angeles leading by 3. And thus far in his career, GA, Victor Wembanyama is averaging well over 3 blocks per game.
Matter of fact, if he can maintain this rate, he's on pace to average the most blocks of any player in NBA history, surpassing the towering Mark Eaton.
So for the Lakers right now, Brown out there with Julius Randle. Then there's Luka Doncic. And it's Fox. And it's Adebayo in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. Donovan Mitchell can put up points, but he's sacrificing some of that to get his teammates going. He said, quote, "For me, it's about balancing, picking my spots, picking my games, empowering everybody. But sometimes I've got to go do what I'm paid to do." Back to you guys.
He can heat up in a hurry, that's for sure. Thanks so much, Allie, for the report. That's a great look at that move from the Connected Cam, sponsored by AT&T.
The numbers testify. Tyrese Maxey is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA.
The three for Doncic. That one doesn't go.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Avdia dishes to Holmgren. Over Randall. And again, it's Philadelphia.
And looking to get stronger, Holmgren fights through the bump. Tons of time for him to grow into that frame.
Mitchell against Fox. Wants to get to Randall and does. And Holmgren pulls it down. 76ers trailing. Avdia, the pass to Wembanyama.
And we see several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving an edge.
Yeah, and the lead has changed hands, and it just hasn't stayed in those hands very long when it's changed. Back and forth we go.
Here, the three-point line, it's Doncic. And the Lakers with another miss. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. 76ers lead by 1. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. They've got Holmgren. Actually out there with Mitchell. Then it's Denny Avdia. And it's Wembanyama in at the center position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
Airtight rim protection from Holmgren. Using his left beautifully.
Avdia. Wembanyama jackhammers him.
And we talk about how Wembanyama makes the wow plays. Wow.
And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what J.J. Redick was saying to the team. He was very encouraging with his guys, saying to them, "We are still in this one. Don't give up right now. Get out there and let's grab this lead from them." Guys, let's see if the intensity picks up here.
Thank you once again, Allie. Steps back. Maxey. That one is off. LA's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown.
Perfect timing on that alley. Adebayo has a real connection with his teammates.
Maxey, and he gets the floater to drop.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
Well, that was 1-2. He wanted the ball. Nobody else was taking that shot.
Fox against Mitchell. Randall surveying the D. Jaylen Brown. And did the 3. A bucket here would give them a bit more room.
True, but no need to rush it. Play smart. My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Oh, man. This building is stud. He dug deep, Greg, into his bag of tricks there.
Boy, I'd love to get a replay on that one. Let's keep it handy so we can see it again.
Outside Fox. The long shot, no good. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not on the penalty yet.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
First personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for Philadelphia.
It's the first, and that puts them up by 5. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
Those free throws right there now give them a little bit of breathing room.
Now Brown missed on the 3. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Second personal foul.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
A generational talent. For Wembanyama, the sky is the limit and the reality.
And that's an intentional foul.
And you can see where they're coming from by fouling to stop the clock, but really they're just kidding themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game is over, and they're the only ones who don't realize that.
Good on the first, and that will put them up by 9. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
That should about seal the deal, showing the killer instinct.
So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester.
Oh, say does.
Man, these teams have been prepping for the season tip-off game for months, Grant.
Oh, and for the players, the main feeling on opening night is relief. You know, BA, all that hard work during the offseason and preseason is finally over. And now it's time to have some fun.
A look at the opening lineup for Washington. Nas Reed out there with LeBron James. Then it's Alex Caruso. Then there's Anthony Edwards. And it's Harden in at the 1.
And Jimmy Butler selectively running and converting on the break.
Well, when you think about all the miles Jimmy Butler has on his legs now, how many more does he have left, Grant?
Well, he's been shouldering the load for a long time. But what separates him from the pack is his sheer will and his IQ. So he might just surprise us a little. And even though he couldn't send the shot back at him, he certainly altered it.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that
Nice deflection there. Really trying to disrupt their offensive flow.
Yeah, that'll give them something to think about.
Porter Jr., he's checked in for the Cavaliers. And a change for the Wizards. McConnell, he's checked in for Caruso. Reed, good.
The defensive effort was lacking a bit, but hey, give them credit for finding a weakness there.
Well, with that kind of success, I imagine they'll continue to be aggressive inside.
Now here's SGA, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Nas Reed. That's his first foul. George, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. Sensabal's checked in for Washington. SGA with it. George outside. Clock at 6. Gobert with a screen on Edwards. For 3, George drills it from deep.
And there's a nice rhythm to his three-point shot. You know, George has a confident stroke.
Pass to James. Up and over Porter. And so he draws the foul. Headed to the line to shoot a pair. It's his first trip to the line.
He did a lot of damage at the free throw line in their last game.
And Washington making a change here. Both free throws good from James.
Yeah, the experience and the knowledge is invaluable. LeBron gives all he has to these young guys deep in his career.
Here's George. Pass to Butler. Shoots a fadeaway. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist.
I love this approach. Getting him involved early, and it's already paying off.
And we knew coming into this game, we expected him to be very...
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one. The Cavaliers on top, up 3. And back to the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. All right, what do you guys think about Cleveland here in this one?
They are looking engaged so far, especially on offense.
I love how they're playing. When you combine great effort and great execution, it leads Results are great results.
So on the floor for the Wizards, they've got Moses Moody. Kelly Olynyk is out there with James Harden. And it's Sensabaugh in at the 2-guard spot. Here's Champagnie. Butler covering. George against Harden. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
Yeah, getting it done inside. Harden proves he's more than just a perimeter player.
The Cavaliers leading. 1:02 left to play in the second quarter. Inside. Ayton. And Ayton! Throw it down!
Man, oh man, look at the agility for a guy that size. DeAndre, throw it down. I love it.
How about that elevated look on the AT&T connected cam? Timeout. And so now a timeout called by Brian Keefe. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. Tim, when you talk about Jimmy Butler, just how hard of a worker is this guy?
Well, he's just exceptional. That gritty style of play is what makes him so respected, B.A. And as we know, he has a way of rising to the occasion.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Banchero's checked in for Jimmy Butler. Austin Reeves comes in for Porter Jr. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for Powell. On the wing, Caruso. Here's the three. It's rebounded by Banchero. There's a 4-second difference between the shot and game clock. Gilgeous-Alexander finds George. There's 14 seconds left in the second quarter. Marked it down low that time. Got hit with the 3-second call. We've got 13 seconds left in the half. Now here's Edwards. Pass to James. Oh, LeBron knocks down the triple.
You want to run your offense through him. A reliable scoring option.
It's a tie game in Cleveland. All right, now let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be back right after the break for the third quarter here on 2K Sports.
Hello.
At the defensive end, I'm not seeing disruption. I don't mean just forced turnovers. I mean taking the offense out of the rhythm.
Changing gears now. This should be. Appreciate you joining us. It's been.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. You got to like what we're seeing from LeBron James.
There's virtually nothing you can do to stop him. I mean, you can't even contain him. He's been that great.
Well, this is the level of performance we've come to expect. What a half from him.
We've got Austin Reeves, Banchero out there with Butler. Then there's Rudy Gobert, and it's SGA in at the point guard position. And that's the group for Kenny Atkinson as we begin the second half. And he misses the go-ahead basket.
And normally that's an easy two for him. I'm surprised he missed that.
Pass to Reeves. And here's SGA outside. The rebound by the Wizards. James deciding where to go with it. LeBron gets the bucket inside.
Once James gets the ball in close, it's game over. Put up those 2 points.
And it's Butler with the ball for Cleveland. 2-point game. The kick out to Banchero. Reeves with a screen on James. Second shot opportunity. The shot by Reeves, no good.
Well, the defense did just enough to force that miss because he is a good finisher.
Reed, good.
A great move. I mean, the defense has no response.
Well, getting a high percentage look right out of the locker room to start the second half. Exactly what they were looking for.
And just so mobile at his size. Once Gobert sets the screen, he rolls hard to the right spot.
Edwards against Reeves. Pass to Reed. Washington moving the ball around. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Edwards. Oh, the finish inside by Edwards. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. It's the Wizards leading by 4. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And just a selfless decision from your two-guard, showing his ability to get his teammates good looks.
Yeah, the pass was so effective. Great job moving the ball with purpose.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Fourth quarter on the court for the Wizards. Alex Caruso is out there with LeBron James. Then there's Edwards. Then it's James Harden. And it's Reed in at the center position. Caruso outside. Here's Edwards. No good from 3. Now Gilgeous-Alexander. Butler outside. Now Banchero. SGA. Another shot. Cleared away by Reed. The Wizards with a lead. Harden outside. Edwards. No, it's off target. And here's SGA. He'll bring it up for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong. No baskets allowed. No! They're unable to get the tying basket there. Expect them to take their time this trip down.
Yeah, B.A., the clock is theirs to burn. He wants the ball, has a flair for the dramatic, unfazed in big situations.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, well during that last break, I heard Kenny Atkinson as he talked with his team. Coach did everything he could to fire up his team, saying, quote, "This is where every one of you has to dig deep. It's going to come down to who wants it more. Anything to give his team an extra push to close the gap." Guys?
Thanks for that, Allie. Here's Harden. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Getting a little desperate at this stage. I mean, the clock's the big factor.
So the first one drops, and that puts him up 5. And so both free throws good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And adding these extra points is a huge difference this late in the game.
And the Cavaliers call time here. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Let's hear from our analyst. Give us your take on the strategy being discussed right now.
The game's not quite done yet, but they need points right away.
And it has to be a quick hitter. There is no time to waste.
Gilgeous-Alexander is just that good, finishing the play through the foul.
Here's Harden. And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible. And no good, as the first free throw misses. We'll see if he can hit the second. And he ends up making the second, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. And so it's Cleveland with it. Banchero! Oh, missed on the tray. And they need to stop the clock, so there's the foul.
Second, 14 foul.
He hits the first one, and that puts him up 5.
2 shots.
So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Safe to say, that should do it. This is why making free throws down the stretch is so important.
And so it's Washington with the W. All right, Allie, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For reporter Allie LaForce and for Tim Legler and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson saying thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.